Hello! I am going to be cutting a pineapple today! How exciting. I've already cut one. This is actually my second attempt at filming this video because I just didn't like how I was talking and what I was talking about in my first one. This is the container with the pineapple already cut, and to my right I have a pizza box with the scraps from the first pineapple that I cut. Just gonna throw the scraps from the second pineapple also in there. I'm just gonna get right into it. I should warn people that I don't recommend cutting it this way because I hold the knife dangerously close to my free hand a lot, and when I get to cutting the actual flesh from the rind, I position the knife towards my hand, and I don't recommend that, but this is just the way that I do it. And I'm sorry to people that I'm going to trigger anxiety in. That's not my problem. Go take it up in the comments. So first, what I'm gonna do is cut the hair from the head. There are so many points in this video. I'm gonna look like I'm getting way too close to my hand. That is a complete accident. I don't mean to, also I'm gonna, literally grab the blade. Ooh. Also, I, forgot to mention that there are so many points in cutting this where I get so out of breath and I, like, sound crazy because, I just I sound terrible, and I feel like that's something that I should probably disclose early on, that I do sound like this because my intelligence is very low, but I also sound like this because I'm out of breath from cutting. So what I'm gonna do now is cut down the middle. It looks very dangerous, but it's also putting a lot of elbow grease into this. A lot of juice is coming out right now. Oh my goodness. Ugh. This bitch is hard. Oh, beautiful! What a beautiful color. The other one was too. Gonna set this half aside. Obviously I work one half at a time. Also, this knife has touched the outside rind, and obviously you saw I just cut through the middle of the flesh. Normally, I think that would bother me when the outside dirt touches the actual fruit, but for some reason with pineapple, I can't be bothered enough to wash the knife. What I'm gonna do now is cut the half into quarters, half the half. There we go. Set this aside. What I'm gonna do now, as you can see, is the core is still very much on the flesh. I'm gonna core that out. Gonna angle my knife and try and cut the core from the top and the bottom of the entire fruit here. Kind of give it a little haircut. And then I'm gonna core the core from through the middle. Like to stand it up on its little feet and just go down the middle there, wiggle the knife down, And I think people could say that I could stand to cut a little more of the core from the flesh, but I don't care. I don't care. I also, as you can see, or as you will see, I'm gonna be leaving a lot of the flesh on the rind. And so I feel like when I cut the core, I'd like to leave a little more flesh because I'm gonna leave a lot of the flesh on the rind. This is the dangerous part. This is where I use my left hand to just grab the entire fruit. I get very handsy with it, and I cut towards my hand. I've said it before, I don't recommend cutting this way. This is just the way that I cut it. You know, look away. I separate the flesh from the rind. As you can see, I try to save as much of the flesh as I can because the eyes are pretty big here. What I will do typically is cut a little more from the top and bottom to try and not leave so much of a chewy texture still on the flesh. So I've separated the flesh from the rind fully. I'm gonna go in, cut into slices. This is another part of the cutting process where it looks like I get really close to my hand. Sorry to tell you that that is just the way that I do it. I think I'm making this video specifically to worry people by how I handle the knife. It's pretty inevitable that one day I will seriously injure myself cutting this way, but I haven't done it yet. It's just, it only takes one time, I think, for me to actually learn my lesson. And that day will not be today. That's what I keep saying. Okay. Beautiful. I'm gonna try a piece. Delicious. That tastes so good. I don't know if pineapple ever, like, has seasons, but they've been on sale at my supermarket for, like, pretty damn cheap for, like, $3. $3 each. And because I actually like cutting pineapple, I've been cutting a lot of them here at my house, and I don't think I could eat them as fast as I cut them. Thankfully, my parents love eating them, and so I've been cutting a lot for them. And except for this part where I separate the flesh from the rind, most of the other parts of cutting the fruit my mom taught me how to do, like cutting the hair from the head, you know, having the halves and stuff. That's all my mom. So don't come for her for my lack of knife skills. She has done a very good job teaching me how to cut the other, you know, steps. I have gotten very close, very many times when cutting, where my knife does slip because I'm using a little too much force, and only a couple times does it actually, like, oh, slime into my hand, but I haven't had any serious injuries yet. Not that I'm trying to injure myself. That's not what I'm saying. So don't come for me. Don't. Don't. That's all I'm gonna say. Gonna half the other half. See, that's already one half of one pineapple. I feel like it doesn't take that long. I think maybe in comparison to like washing fruit, it might take a little bit longer, or like, you know, like just eating an apple. If you choose to eat the apple with the skin on, maybe this takes like years in comparison to eating other fruit, but I don't know, this is like therapeutic for me. I like cutting pineapple, even though I don't do it very safely, even though I think about cutting myself every time I do it. Still can't explain why I think it's therapeutic. The way I cut in this step also, I do tend to have a lot of eyes still on the, oh, not in this piece. I left quite a bit of flesh still on the rind in that piece, but in some of the other pieces, I have pretty big eyes on the flesh. Eyes being, you know, like these parts, these little sections, those little segments. Let me see if I can find a piece with pretty distinct eyes. I think this, you can kind of see the eyes. They're kind of big, which means I cut closer to the rind than the inside of the flesh, which means some of the eyes are still going to show up on the flesh. And it does get kind of annoying when eating a pineapple slice that has some of the eyes on it. But you know what? I'd rather that than leave like this much flesh still on the rind. That pisses me off. I hate when some of the pieces I cut are really wasteful. And it happens, you know. Try not to think about it too much. I think this method is better, personally, than using like a pineapple tool, like a specific coring, like spiralizing tool for cutting pineapple. Because the way that those are shaped obviously are supposed to fit like pineapples of so many different sizes, and so I feel like by default they just made them way too small, so that they can actually fit the pineapple. And so I feel like those tools leave a lot of the flesh on the rind, and I don't like that. Even if it ends up a little chewier than using a tool, I think I would rather be less wasteful, because the ones that I buy are also ridiculously sweet. I don't know how they like, I don't know, GMOs are really GMOing. They're like doing their thing. They're producing really, really sweet pineapple. It's insane. And I feel like people would already say that I'm being quite wasteful in the way that I'm cutting my fruit. But thankfully this video is not actually for them. It's just for other people to watch. This one has a little bit of green still on the flesh, so I'm gonna eat that so that no one else has to. So delicious. So juicy, so sweet. So fresh, so clean. This is also the last section. I don't know if I mentioned that, but you've watched this video. You can tell this is the last section. Okay. And with that, there isn't a lot of room in my container. With that, I have cut the entire pineapple. My left hand is pretty slimy from being so handsy with the fruit. It's kind of gross. But my parents know what they're getting themselves into when they eat fruit that I cut. And that's the entire container. So beautiful. I have 2 full containers of pineapple. And it's gonna be gone within like an hour, I swear to God. We just love eating this stuff. That is my video, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to think of what else to say. Yeah. Happy pineapple cutting, I guess. Huh. Bye.